All right, we have Jack and Jack in studio.
Woo!
Welcome to Tampa Bay.
Thanks for having us, man.
Now, is this your first time here?
Yeah, in Tampa Bay,
Actually,
it's our
yes.
very first time.
Yes,
and in the
second day.
studio, so you know.
Welcome to our
All
beautiful
kind of
studio.
firsts.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
All
Now, you two were here overnight, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did a little, I don't even know what, but yeah, we had fun in Tampa, yeah.
Okay, now I know that, or something that we do on our show, we always say hashtag food is sexy because we love food.
Yeah, okay.
Where did you eat in Tampa?
Dad's.
We went to Dad's.
Dad's!
Yeah, you know
you
what?
did it right. That
It
is
was
a great
so
place
fire,
to go.
yo. It was like we definitely indulged a little more than we should have because, you know, they got great, you know, they offered us like free donuts at the end too. And we're
Yeah,
like,
'cause
yo,
like the last one's there.
chill. We can't take
No,
that.
but our tour manager, he's from Tampa, so he like knows it ins and outs.
Shout
He's
out
like,
Jonathan,
We gotta go.
real one.
We gotta go to Dad's.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so what did you two have at Dad's?
At Dats, we had
We actually both had.
what was
I
it
forget
called?
the name of it, but it
the
was like a
bird
chicken
and the
sandwich.
what was it called? Okay, yeah, it was a chicken sandwich, like grilled chicken and
Lettuce,
cheese and
tomato,
bacon. I didn't get
bacon.
lettuce and tomato. I'm a plain kind of guy. You know?
Okay,
He's
okay.
trying to branch out a little bit.
I really
Wait a
am.
minute. Is your branching out lettuce and tomato?
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
that's like
pretty big
super
for me.
crazy for him. You know, that's super crazy for him.
Listen, it's me too. I just started eating onions 6 months
Oh,
ago.
God,
That's
and
bold.
so
They're
I
not
feel
bad.
like I'm a foodie now. I'm like, I eat onions.
But y'all onions have been around.
You're cultured now in the food game. Yeah.
Y'all are
Now,
ridiculous.
you two have traveled all over. You've been to Europe. You've been all over the U.S.
Totally, man.
Top 3 places you've had food around the world.
This is still about
okay.
food.
Yes,
Okay,
it
yeah,
is.
I like this food talk. This is
Okay,
good.
personally, we were in Milan one time, and I'm like, I love Italian. food.
Yes.
And I got a spaghetti
Bolognese.
bolognese. Yeah.
Bolognese.
Bolognese, however they say it.
Oh my God, I bet it was so
But
good.
it was so good. It was amazing.
Brazil, they have this native dish called
Oh, the
coxina. Coxina. It's basically it's chicken and potato mashed together, and it's
Ooh.
in like a breaded kind of. You know how like KFC has like the breading on the outside.
Yes.
Yeah. There's like kind of breading on the outside, and
Oh
it's
my
just like this
gosh.
little ball, and it's delicious. It's very delicious.
Oh, those were good off the top of my
And then
head.
what's a third one? What's
A third one? Okay.
no
Tampa?
offense.
I'm starving
No offense,
right now.
yeah.
I'm sitting here like my mouth is watering and I don't even know what to do with myself.
The UK was. Oh wait, hold up.
Okay,
the
what's up?
mangoes in Portugal.
Lisbon. Yeah.
Lisbon, yeah. For some reason, I mean, it's not like a dish really. It's just a fruit. But I mean,
Right.
the mangoes there were crazy,
We
man. Like
must have
so.
been there in like ripe season.
Yeah, they were so in season, man. Just
Yeah.
juicier than I don't even know.
If you're gonna go to
They're
Lisbon,
delicious.
go in May and try
Yeah.
the mango.
Try the
Miguel,
mangoes.
we have to travel.
We do, seriously.
We gotta go travel places.
Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's.
We
That's
are the
about
I
it.
saw the
worst.
Dunkin' right
Exactly.
outside.
It's
Yeah,
right
it'll
there.
work. It'll work.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what I love about you two instantly? I can tell that you two are really good friends.
Yeah.
Because you two grew up together, right? You met in
100%.
kindergarten?
Kindergarten,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
day,
yeah.
man. yeah.
Wow.
So what has it been like? Because like Holly and I, we've worked together now for 10 years. We've traveled cities doing radio together.
Yeah, right.
And you two obviously have grown up together.
Yeah.
What has that been like? To go from like, you're just playing around on Vine and like now you're touring the world and you're famous. Like, what is that like?
I don't like that F word, man.
What's
It's-
But you are.
We're trying to get
2
there,
million
you know.
followers on Instagram. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's really cool because I feel like the best thing about our friendship is like I've seen him every step of the way since we were little kids. So like, you know, if he ever got a big head or if I ever got a big head, which we never would, but like we can always keep each other in check, you know. 'Cause
Right.
So
we're
you
like,
ground each other.
yeah, we ground each other
100%.
totally.
I mean,
you know?
that's kind of like where we come from too. Is Omaha, Nebraska. Our parents would never let us like, like do anything crazy.
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
mama
you know,
would-
at the
yeah.
end of the day, we're just. That's what makes us us. You know, it's like we met first day of
a
kindergarten.
genuine connection, you know. There's no industry production behind the scenes, like kind of thing going on. So it's really genuine, you know, our friendship. And so I think that's what kind of makes our fans gravitate towards us. You know?
Yeah, like even still, we're staying in the same hotel room. Like,
Yeah.
we're just
Just
like
keep
sleeping
doing
next to
that
each
for
other.
as long as you can, though, because Miguel and I used to have to stay in the same hotel room. Finally, I think just this year we started staying separately.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's nothing that grounds you more than like sharing a bathroom with someone and just
Right.
being like, "Are you done?" It just
It's true, yeah, and you know you're saving $150 by only having one room too.
Exactly.
Every night. It's like,
Yes.
why not
Exactly.
conserve a little bit? You know.
now, how have you two changed? I mean, and maybe it was becoming more, I won't say famous, but popular or being
Or
more
known.
well known.
Known,
being
yeah.
more well known. And as you've gotten older, how have you two changed? Because Holly and I over the 10 years have changed a lot. When she met me, I was 21.
Yeah, totally.
So how have you changed?
I think there's like definitely a multitude of ways, but you know, I like to think that Jack and I have changed for the better. You know, I think with this influence comes a lot of responsibility, and so you know, Jack and I think try to be as positive as possible. You know, maybe in aspects that we weren't positive in. You know, back in high school when we didn't have a following,
Right.
We might try to flip that now, and you know, make sure that we're always being good role models, make sure that we're always setting a good example. And I think the biggest thing is like really just I don't know. I don't want to say it's like how we dress, but I look back at pictures and I'm like, that's like a physical thing, I guess. But
Right.
like,
No, it's true.
I cringe when I look back to like my middle school self and my high school. I think that's
Everybody.
everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think that has anything to do with like, you know, the popularity. I think that just
Right.
has to do
I
with
feel
growing
like
up.
I
but-
feel like with having these fans, you know, they kind of gave us the confidence that we never had. Of course, we were always like fun kids, and we loved like living life, and it was cool and whatnot. And not that like we're cocky by any means now or egotistical, but we just have a good understanding of who we are individually and like
Yeah.
separately. I feel like so.
I think a lot of
We
people
definitely have the confidence now to just like get up on stage, whereas like 6th grade Jack G,
You didn't really know yourself,
Nah,
yeah.
no way, no
Totally,
way.
totally.
Yeah. But now our fans have kind of given us that key element which you need to become a star.
Yeah, and they really helped us like find ourselves too, I think, over this journey.
So awesome.
Yeah.
That's an interesting insight. Is
Yeah.
that your fans actually help you become who you are going to be? Because I mean, the road is
Yeah.
not done for you guys, obviously. So as you continue to change and whatever it is that you can do together, your fans are going to be there and help you through that process.
Yeah, man. They give you so much perspective on life too, you know, because
Yeah.
like we have fans from every walk of life, and so that might be something that we never otherwise would have been exposed to if we weren't in this career path. So
Totally.
yeah,
What's that point when you know that you feel like you've made it? Because you have that sort of goal in your head of like,
What was yours, Miguel?
yeah.
What was yours?
For us, when we started in radio 10 years ago, I always said, when I can buy lunch for myself every day and eat out, and it's not breaking the bank,
and that's made it.
I've made it.
Right.
That's when I've made
That's
it.
dope though, because I think it's different for everyone, in every respective avenue. But Jack and I don't know. We always say it's not anything physical, not anything tangible, like an award, like to
Grammy
me.
or-
When I made it, to me, it's gonna be something like like some crazy painter like painted a mural of us on the side of a building or something.
like down
I
in
don't
some
know.
third
yeah.
world country, or like on some big wall or
I
something.
think it's gonna be something that I don't even know what it is yet, but I
Right.
think I'll know when it actually happens. You feel
yeah.
me? But-
Truthfully, our end goal is just to influence as many people on a mass scale that we can in a positive manner. So. I don't know, like if there's a tangible thing, like holding a Grammy would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But like,
But I'd rather inspire the next, superstar like coming up underneath us type shit,
Right.
And so I think like maybe in an interview like someone who's taken over the game says, "Oh, Jack and Jack was an influence." That I might be like, "Okay,
Yeah, that'd
that's
be
an
really
aspect
cool.
in which I made it." But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to answer that question because
Yeah.
I feel like it'll happen when it happens,
And
I'll
you'll know.
You'll
I'll
know.
when it
Right.
This is the
right.
moment.
It's like
We've
finding
made it.
love. You're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Totally, like, oh, that's the
this.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we're in Florida, and just down the road from where the school shooting happened, I know you all did a benefit concert
Yeah.
down there.
we did.
What did it mean to you all to sort of be there with those kids? I mean, so shortly after they experienced such a tragedy. What was that
Yeah.
like?
Man, it was so important to Jack and I because we had stuff going on that weekend, and like when Y100 called us and we're like, "Yo, can you guys come down here and do a benefit concert?" We canceled all our plans. We made sure we got down there because Jack and I personally coming from Omaha, like even I want to say what was that 4 or 5 years ago, we had a mass shooting at one of our malls, and like we just saw how much it shook up the community, man, and like
Right.
even the kids in our school were scared, even though it didn't directly happen at our school. Like I could just see how it affected the youth, how it affected the
Yeah.
community as a whole, and
So we can only imagine how it would feel to actually hear those gunshots ringing out, knowing maybe some of your friends or just acquaintances are going down, and you don't know what's going on. People thought maybe it was a chip bag I heard opening or whatever it was. And it was crazy to talk to some of these girls who were like 12, like 13, 14, however old they were. I remember we were talking to this one girl, and she was just like, it was so genuine, her fear, and but at the same time, it was so genuine how happy she was that we were there and we were kind of putting this show on for these kids, and that makes me feel like, okay, we are on the right path and we're doing something right because we can make these girls, after such a traumatic experience, feel
have a
somewhat
glimpse of
loved.
happiness. Yeah,
Exactly.
And I think the biggest thing is, Jack and I want to do stuff like that to set an example. And I think if we do a benefit concert where we raise money for a tragedy, hopefully that inspires other artists to do things in a similar aspect.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, man, it was just really important talking to them and letting them know, if you use your voice, you can really make change. No matter how little you might think your voice is, it all, like every single voice is necessary to feed the flame. And I think, yeah, that was just definitely something we were telling them on stage, and hopefully, they took some good stuff away from that, man.
Yeah.
But,
I
yeah.
feel like this is the generation that will spark change in like
Truly.
a mass scale.
With social media, people can really rally together and really, make change just by creating campaigns that like otherwise, wouldn't have been able to spread as fast.
Most definitely.
I saw him talking about, okay, everyone's gonna wear orange on this day,
Right.
in remembrance of the people who we lost, and it's crazy, man. I see like all these kids marching at
walking out of school.
Yeah, Capitol Hill. Yeah, it's crazy,
It's
man.
wild. I mean, these are like
These are teenagers,
17-year-old
though, yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I see people on CNN. That kid who's like 19 or whatever. He was a student, and now he's like legitimately making a career, even though that's not his goal. He's trying to like
He's forging a path.
Prompt change.
Yes.
Like he's provoking change, and I think just whatever's happening, the whole social media thing, I think it's a blessing. You know, sometimes it can be used for bad and negative things. Now I think we're kind of figuring it out as a young generation how to really change the world for better. Yeah.
Is that overwhelming for you all to, to have so many fans that
The weight
just-
is on you, I feel like.
they hang on to your every word, every Insta story, every post. How do you handle all of that?
Yeah, man. I mean, it used to be like I'm gonna be honest. When we first started doing this, and a girl would tell us, "Oh, your guys' music, like saved my life," or something like really heavy like that. Jack and I didn't really know how to take it. We were still in high school, and it was definitely still something new. And
Yeah.
I feel like that would be weird to anybody who had never experienced that before. But over time, Jack and I have definitely come to terms with our influence and our power. And I think, I mean, I don't really feel that weight anymore, man. I love talking to people about problems in their life. I love talking to people about anything they have going on. And I think, Jack and I, are very open about just wanting to help anybody and everybody. So yeah, it's never like a weight. I feel like I think it's a blessing, if anything.
No, but sometimes, I do feel the weight of, because we have this influence, because we have these followers, you're somewhat obligated to promote positivity, or you might look like you don't care.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's just something that is somewhat in the back of my mind. But it's very easy when you care about, like, anything that's going on, like the shooting, for instance. Of course, I'm going to reach out to my fans and be like, it's okay. We can actually change this. Like, this doesn't have to be this way. We are the future of the world. Our generation, in 15 years, kids are going to be running for president that are in high school right now. So
Exactly.
we are
They'll be the ones in
future.
power,
Like, people don't really realize that now, right? It takes like until you're like older and you're like, oh man, I wish we knew this back then. But luckily, because of social media, I feel like
People are
kids really
realizing
starting to realize it. Yeah,
That's true, man.
That's awesome. I really love what you all are saying, and it's sort of, you can feel that you all understand the weight of the responsibility you have with your fans, and I love that.
Because I feel like at the age of like 21, a lot of artists prior to, and I think you're right about social media, may have not even realized, because you're in a different world when you start to become more well known, but because of social media, it does kind of make you hyper aware that other people are always watching, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I maybe would not have thought to like post for everybody, hey, I'm with you, but because of it, now you're like, ooh, let me just shoot a quick tweet or something.
Of course,
like, just really
man.
quick.
And like, I don't want anybody to think, Jack and I are saints. There's going to be those moments where we mess up. I feel like in anybody's career, there's
Everybody.
yeah. And so,
yes.
but at the end of the day, that just shows, that we're human, and that just shows that, every artist, similar to us is human. And I think everybody goes through stuff like that. And it's really about how you bounce back from said mistakes. And yeah, man, I think we're just trying to not put ourselves on a pedestal in comparison to our fans, man, because we're all just humans at the end of the day, all going through the same common human experience. And
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, you both just turned 21, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
You
actually
got
about to
it.
turn 22. It's my
You got
birthday
like
month
3
right
weeks.
now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you, bro.
Now, are you two drinkers at all?
Here and there.
We have some sips. Every now
Honestly,
and
we
then.
drank more like before. Like, I don't know if I can say this before.
yes, you can. Because I think it's expected.
fine.
Yeah, before
It's
it was
fine. It's
legal,
fine.
like than we
Right.
do now. I feel
mean,
like,
of course, in high
there's something
school-
about the rebellion.
Yeah.
it was fun, Like
Yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska, we didn't have much to do. So.
I think that's key. If
Hey,
there's
don't
a
drink
place
underage,
for
all right?
that.
Chill.
Yeah, no underage drinking. And if you do, just do not get behind the wheel. That's
Yes,
what
yes,
I
It's
yes.
so easy
please.
nowadays not to. I mean,
Exactly.
you have Uber. You have
Call your
Lyft.
parents.
Yeah.
Use Lyft,
It's
something like
so
that.
easy.
Yeah.
Now, what are your signature cocktails that you two
Okay.
drink when you go have a cocktail?
Or do you have a cocktail,
Okay,
or is it
he-
like beer?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, okay.
Not everybody has a cocktail.
Everyone
like
has
you.
a cocktail, Holly.
I don't.
You have a cocktail? You
I have
just
a
like beer?
cocktail. I'm
Honestly,
a beer or a wine drinker.
Ever since my 21st,
Yep.
we went to Cabo, and like
Yo,
we
that
didn't need to do that. It was so
was so
so
fun.
excessive, but it was really fun. And ever since that trip, I don't know, we became tequila guys for some reason.
Gosh, I love tequila too.
Casamigos. Shout out George Clooney.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Don Julio. I mean, if I can like get my hands on some Don Julio for free, like,
yeah,
that's what I'm drinking.
that is expensive. That's
Now, is
good
it just
stuff.
straight? You're just sipping on
Well,
it?
if you're doing
that's
something
one
that
way to do
expensive
it.
like Don Julio, I like to do some rocks and just like nothing else. But I just sip it, I'm not
Yeah.
like a chug unless we're like at the club.
And shots,
Skis
shots,
pouring
shots,
bottle
shots,
back in your
shots.
mouth. Or something. Yeah.
But
I love
honestly, yeah, some people
Pineapple
hate
juice,
this.
though. I know you've been mixing with pineapple,
Pineapple juice is
Yeah.
great,
Ooh,
yes.
okay.
But if you're trying to have like a really good night, I do a dash of Red Bull in there.
Ah,
Well, you
keeps
gotta keep going.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
keep going.
Yeah,
I love it.
And then I don't know. We're both named Jack. I mean, the Jack and Cokes come out sometime.
Right.
True.
Every
right,
now and
right,
then,
right.
yeah.
As you do.
You gotta
Some
be
people-
careful with
yeah.
that dark liquor though.
That's like the second meaning to our name too. Jack and Jack. We like to think of it as
straight liquor.
Jack and Jack. just straight Jack. You know, if you
No
want to take it
chaser.
that way.
I love
Shot
it.
of Jack.
Yeah, man.
Well, what is next for Jack and Jack? So, do we have an album on the way that you all are working on?
Yes, we are definitely working on an album. We have no plan on a release date or anything.
We know what it's gonna be called though.
Yes,
we know what the artwork's
we know
gonna
exactly
be.
what it's called. We know the
Ooh,
artwork.
Okay.
Pays homage to our youth.
But we wanna
Okay.
make songs that really, I feel like, not only explain our friendship and explain how we've lived, but also just represent us as a duo and showcase my singing ability, his singing ability, and his rapping ability. And, we feel like we have great songs, but we want to make sure that we have like a bunch of great songs to pick from. So we're waiting on the album. But next, obviously right now, our main focus is our single Beg that we're really, really excited about. And we are actually going to start releasing a song once every 2 weeks until July. On March 16th. That's like when we're starting. So it'll just be like 8 new songs. Our fans are so desperate for music because other than Beg,
We're bad,
released.
man. We just
We're just bad because we
get so hyped too. We're like, oh, we're
Right.
about to release this now, and then like the label or like something happens, and we're like, oh, we gotta push it back a few more weeks. And our fans are all disappointed. They're like, what? You promised it to us right then, and now
Give
it's
it to
not
us
here."
now.
Yeah,
Give it to us
and
now.
so we're really bad at like getting too overly excited ourselves and
Right.
hyping our fans up a little too much.
But that's something we know for
we're
sure.
sorry. We're
So March 16th,
And
we
then-
can definitely put it on our calendars and
Yes,
say
sir.
100%.
we have new music from Jack and Jack.
Yeah,
coming out.
yeah.
2 weeks until like I think the first week of July, and then we're gonna drop another like radio single.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Jack and Jack.
Yeah, thank you
Appreciate
guys.
you guys
so
having
much.
us.
Appreciate it.
I
Thank
love the
you.
vibe. You got Coronas.
I
in
know.
there.
Of course, we always have Corona.
It's so
That's
good.
free
Have that
flowing.
It's a beach in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.